When I was in 6th grade, ghosts were a very intriguing topic for me, and I loved the paranormal, but never knew if they were real or not. This proved it. We were all at Lily's house, who lives in a small, old house. Her bedroom is in the basement at the end of the hallway. The house is very run down and doesn't have a lot of rooms. In the basement, she always kept the lights off in the hallway, but kept the lights on in her bedroom. She also kept her door wide open to the darkness because the door didn't have a knob, but it never really bothered us. I remember that it was a Friday in December because it was already pitch black outside very early. Around 9 p.m., we were blasting music on Lily's TV, dancing and singing loudly, all because her mum didn't care. But one thing you need to know is that her basement door and stairs are also extremely loud. Creaking is prominent. So, as we were dancing, me and Andy happened to gaze upon the darkness outside the door. Just a blur. A white silhouette of a person walked by the door. Both me and Andy stepped back, covering our mouths in shock. We were startled while Lily was looking the other way. The silhouette looked inhumanly, like a shadow. At first I thought that it was Lily's mum's boyfriend trying to scare us, because it was tall like him. But when we told Lily, we checked the hallway and no one was there. Then I realised the creaky stairs and basement door didn't make a sound. No one was in the basement. Both me and Andy saw it and reacted to it at the same time. Lily started to get scared. Well, we all did. But she was worried we were pranking her. Once Lily stepped out for a second, I asked Andy to describe the ghost to confirm. She told me it was tall. I never doubted the idea of ghosts ever again. It was summer. My girlfriend and I were at my mum's being bored. It was a clear night. I suggested we look at a light pollution map to see where the less light pollution was, as my girlfriend came from a place where you could see the stars above more than where I lived. She agreed, so we set off to Cannons Creek, driving at 11 p.m. or so. We reached our destination, a small, disappointing wetland. We decided to make a trip down to Phillip Island. However, since leaving Cannons Creek, we both felt as if something was off, but we just put it down to anxiety. We get to this back beach where you had to drive down the road with high beams to see where you were going. The entrance gave way to a car park, giving you a full view of the thing, and no one was there but the sounds of the waves. There was also a life-saving club attached to the car park, which provided some light to a dark area. Bushes in front of us. It was dark there. The stars were a sight to see, but that off feeling still persisted. Both dismissed the feeling again. The paranoia crept in when both of us had a feeling of being watched, intensifying when one of us had to step out of the car to relieve ourselves. We dismissed it further, lost in conversation until the radio cut out for a second. I don't know what made me turn my head to face my girlfriend, but there I saw the end of a cigarette being inhaled in the shadows near the Lifesaving Club. In a panic, I told my girlfriend and we left. She flicked the high beams as we turned to the Lifesaving Club, exposing a man rushing into the bushes. As we left the car park, parked behind where a car was, sat an orange wagon. Not once did we see headlights enter the car park. Not once did we see a car prior, which left us with the confronting idea that someone followed us and waited in the car park with us. I used to live in this tiny granny flat behind someone's house. It was part of the rental deal I got when I first moved out of home. Just one bedroom, a dodgy kitchen, and a weird little bathroom with this flickering light that buzzed when it rained. The kind of place that felt like it had one foot in the past. But it was cheap, and I liked the quiet. The whole back wall of the flat was a sliding glass door that opened into a tiny yard. The landlord had slapped on some vertical blinds that were so old they stuck and cluttered every time you touched them. I never really closed them all the way, mostly just left them half shut unless it was too sunny. Anyway, this happened one night, middle of the week. I think it was around 1:30 a.m. I had a long day of work and couldn't sleep, so I curled up on the couch, lights off, watching some random show on Netflix. You know when your brain's half switched off and you're just vibing in the dark with a bit of background noise? I was like that when I noticed the blinds move, just slightly. A soft sway, like someone had brushed past them, not the wind. The sliding door was locked, and there was no draft. I paused the show and listened. and I heard breathing, low, deep, controlled. I remember this spike of adrenaline hitting me like a truck, like my body realized what was happening before my brain did. My first thought was, someone standing on the other side of the glass. I sat dead still, staring at the gap in the blinds, and then I saw it. And I, right there, peering through the gap, pressed so close to the glass that it fogged up a little with each breath. I didn't even think. I bolted off the couch and ran to the bedroom, locked the door, and hid like a child. I called 000 from the floor of my closet, could barely get my words out. By the time the cops got there, whoever it was long gone. No footprints, nothing. And the security cam on the main house didn't catch anything. The angle didn't even reach my end of the yard. The weirdest part? Nothing was stolen. No attempt to break in. Whoever it was, they just watched. The cops shrugged it off, said maybe it was a drunk guy or someone who got the wrong house, but I don't buy it. They stood there for too long. Didn't knock, didn't run when I moved, just stood there, breathing slow and calm, like they were completely comfortable being there. I moved out 2 weeks later. Even now, I can't look at the glass doors the same way. I keep curtains shut, always, because I can still see that eye just watching, like it was waiting